Some topics may be triggering, and we are not trained professionals, and simply are sharing our personal experiences. If you go through or have gone through mental health problems, please seek professional help. However, we are more than willing to pray with you and or for you. God bless and enjoy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Nobody Asked podcast. Thank you guys so much for supporting, for continuing to support us and the journey. I'm not going to say much else because, yeah.
How many followers do we have now?
I don't
we
know.
still 11?
I'm super slack, man.
However many it is, I love you all.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys, and please continue to show your support by subscribing and sharing and commenting.
Yeah.
Is that even a word?
Commenting, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
On our episodes, and I promise I'll try my best to consolidate everything. I made a Facebook page, which I'm gonna drop all our clips on. I'm gonna do an Instagram page, I think, maybe, yes, because I don't want to flood my page.
Yeah, I was thinking that,
Yeah, just to consolidate everything.
Yeah.
Because then, like, I can post YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram clips, Reels, and Facebook Reels all in one post.
Yep.
So it just makes sense. And it'll be cool for all the channels to grow together.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be pretty cool.
The at in the bio and stuff, yo.
Yeah.
That's like another badge that you wear.
I think
Sick.
I'm more keen to do that and just let it do its thing, really. And I think that's simple content.
Yeah, bro.
Don't got to focus too much because it's just too much with my own content and this content. And I'm really like visual with my content, or like how it's displayed on my page and stuff. Yeah, so I get pretty like, this puts me off sometimes. But anyways, thank you guys is what I'm trying to say this whole time. As always, before this episode, please read and or listen to the disclaimer.
Some topics may be triggering, and we are not trained professionals, and simply are sharing our personal experiences. If you go through or have gone through mental health problems, please seek professional help. However, we are more than willing to pray with you and or for you. God bless and enjoy.
All right, what's up, guys? What's up, bro?
Triple.
How are you?
I'm all good, bro.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm actually good. I ate clean for the last few days.
Yeah, same. Buzzy, bro.
Yeah.
Have you realized how good, like, bro, just lettuce, if you chuck lettuce and tomatoes and something, how good it is, G? How good it tastes?
And I was at McDonald's today with some staff in Rangatahi, and I was like, no, thank you. I'm okay.
Bro, I love that,
And my stomach was like...
It's like dietary virtue signaling,
Right.
You're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, but I think I actually was good. Like, I'm like, nah, like, I'm right.
Yeah.
And I got some beautiful kai at home, so yeah, it's nice. And I think just I actually really enjoy cooking, so like I need to make an effort. Like once I get stuck into cooking, wow, I'm making so much stuff, and then I'm actually quite proud of it at the end. And then I got leftovers for the next day and stuff, so like, it works out for all of us.
Love leftovers, G.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, we got a little puppy. Her name's Mila, and she's starting to eat meat now. So we're giving her boiled chicken breasts and a little bit of fruit and stuff like that for some snacks. So she's included in the cooking and the grocery shopping and stuff. Which is all good. So, on today's episode, this is something that I was thinking about today. And like, cause we talk so much about like mental health problems, and I guess like really specific mental health problems in New Zealand and young Māori men in general. And I was just randomly thinking today, like, why is this such like a big thing with our people, and like with young Māori men and Māori women as well? Why is it so like the? I'm trying to be careful with what I say, but it feels like we're riddled with like mental health problems, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And just like, and to me it feels deeper than just mental health problems. Like it feels like there's a lot of spiritual
That as well,
wounds that get opened up from time to time.
Yeah.
And especially in te ao Māori, when you dive into like whakapapa and your descendants of who you come from and all that kind of stuff, like you can kind of see the patterns of that. But then even back then, I'm just like, why is this such like a common thing with our people? And why do we just fall like detriment? Why do we fall short to mental health problems all the time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And I think just because of like I work in the health sector and I've been a part of it honestly since I was like 5 years old. And it's always been kaupapa Māori based, but it's always been or how would I explain that in like
Haura
English terms? It'll be like well-being.
Yeah.
It'll be like well-being based for like, when you think of well-being, you got your mental and your physical and spiritual, emotional, all that. So that's the kind of mahi that I've been doing, honestly, since I was like 5-6 years old, which is pretty crazy to think about. But it's always stemmed from an issue or like, and that issue was normally like mental health problems.
Yeah.
Even when my dad and my brother and I were teaching kapahaka in my primary school, even back then, it was cultural awareness and all that, but it was also like a lack of culture and stuff like that, which,
bro.
and our poly people kind of creates a whole nother bunch of issues and stuff like that. But, and I can only speak from my own experience, but like my family is riddled with it, man. Just riddled with it, riddled with mental health issues, severe mental health issues too, like.
Yeah.
Like really dangerous mental health issues, and even some cousins, who've sadly passed away through choosing to end it early because of mental health issues, and substance abuse, I think, can be included in like mental health issues too.
Yeah.
Because to me, it seems like they're wanting to escape, and so they turn to these things and
self-medication.
But like the self-medication is like
get stoned as
methamphetamine, bro. It's like these A-class drugs that are turning my whānau into like zombies and really bringing out the evilness that's in there. And I think about that like quite a lot. Only because my own self, I don't do that, but I have this deep anger in me, and when I choose to like, I guess, indulge in it or not suppress it as much, I can get pretty dark like real quick, you know what I mean? And that's something that I battle with, for a long time. But it's not just me; it's a lot of my whānau too, So the tribe, I come from Tainui Ngāti Whātua. Is my iwi, and some of our hapu are like scrappers, man. So one of the main hapu that I'm from is Ngāti Naho, and they're scrappers, man. Like they're all just scrappers. They're just like rowdy dudes that just like to scrap everyone and just scrap. But there was to physically hurt someone means there's some issues, you know what I mean, or there's some like anger problems or some emotions that we clearly can't deal with properly because we're just out here punching people in the faces and that. Bro. So like, what's your take, I guess, on to generalize it on mental health in, let's say, in Māori men, in young Māori men to start with?
My one's massive, G. Like my take on it, I think there's heaps of factors that incorporate why we're that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're about 3 generations away from having our idea of what a man is transformed into something else, and being given all these other examples of what a man should be. And I think that's a big factor in it. Like, having our beliefs challenged all the time to the point where, like, even if you ask now, like, your run-of-the-mill Māori guy, what's a Māori man to you? A lot of them, I guess they could tell you, but the belief that they have in that isn't the same as what it was. You know
True.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
true.
like, if you look back pre-colonization,
Mhm.
I've read this heaps of places, bro, and I've been told this by like the older ones as well, is that Māori weren't really, the men were on par with women in terms of raising the kids.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like there wasn't the man goes to work and wife stays home. There wasn't man disciplines the kids and mum nags. Like they had equal roles in the raising of their children. And I think that in itself is a kind of culture shock for most Māoris nowadays to hear, to even hear or comprehend.
Yep.
So that's a big one for me. Another one I think is like westernization, bro. You know, you see on TV that all the mistreatment of people's own families
Mm.
and TV shows, documentaries, everything that we see, like
Yeah.
music as well. That has a detrimental effect on men because they see it's like Kanye West's song. Where I'm from, the dope boys is the rock stars. You know what I mean? So they have to think that, oh yeah, the way that I'm living isn't enough. I need to be rich, flashy, have all that money and stuff like that. But when you're not born into that, the chances of you getting there without like the proper tools are slim as, bro. You know what I mean? So I think it's a big issue. But most of it just comes from trauma that's bred into the whānau, bro, you know? Because I think we're about, how many generations am I? We're 2 generations away from the language being taken. You know what I mean? And that'll have a negative as effect on kids. Like, they were speaking their language. And to be fair, I don't think they used to get the same kind of hidings that they would at school for speaking like that, bro. You know, so that trauma in itself kind of blends into the whānau, and then you have that going on and the disbelief at that happening. Because if you get the bash for speaking your language, you're not going to believe in yourself, bro. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
So I think like that trauma has been passed down through these generations. Intergenerational trauma is a big one. Yeah, I think it's crazy, but yeah, it is prevalent in all our whānau. I'm Ngāti Tarawhai on my dad's side, and I'm Ngāti Awakirangi Taiki on my mum's side. So mum's side's from Texas, dad's side's from Rotorua, and then there's Bay of Plenty areas. Yeah, it is prevalent, bro, because a lot of the men, young men especially, all their examples are mobsters and like, you know, and the gang life, or there's not much to do in those towns, like Texas. So a lot of them are either in the mill or they're in the mob.
Yeah.
So I think it's tough for them to find good examples of what a man's like. So that feeds into it as well, you know?
100%. And like outside factors that have a role in shaping who we are as Māori men, you know?
Yeah, bro.
There's a lot of, I mean, so it gets real deep. And sometimes I used to feel like, it's not that, it's not that deep, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I remember, I truly think it is. And so where my dad's from, we're from Pukekohe, and if you're not aware with Pukekohe, we're from the dark side all day.
That's my whānau too, that's my boy's whānau.
But the history in Pukekohe was a majorly racist town.
Yeah, bro. No, what is it called? No Māori allowed. No, or something like that.
Even down to the urupa, to buses, to Māori movie theatres, to, all that kind of stuff that my dad used to tell me about. Me growing up, like, I was in and out of Puke and I was attracted to that, to the dark side.
Yeah.
But I'm really grateful that my dad, took us out, because I feel like me being the way I am, I would have definitely been caught up in a lot of that stuff.
100%.
But like, I always had this issue with Pākehā people, and I never knew why. It was like when I was younger, like I just felt this energy that they felt towards me. And sometimes it wasn't even them directly, but I could just be like, nah, there's something in you. I felt like there was an automatic switch that they were just like, he's Māori, you know what I mean? Like, he's not us. He's not one of us. Yeah, and it always made me feel beneath, always. And that's hard. That's hard to explain, bro, to like non-Maori, I guess.
Yeah.
That who didn't grow up that way. But there's just like, and mum's part Pākehā as well,
Yeah.
And
And you can't just walk out and say, "Gee, it's all good. My mum's white."
Yeah. But like, I definitely felt that like with Pākehā people, and like, yeah, I've been followed around heaps, or I've been judged wrongly, or I've had prejudices against me, and a lot of times, but that wasn't even the bad parts. The bad parts was just this deep hatred towards not me as a person, but what I represent,
Yeah, bro.
as a Māori.
I feel that, yeah.
And I was always aware of it, but I never really voiced it, or like, I guess, acknowledged it. I just thought it was one of those things.
Yeah.
And that feeling alone made me want to give like a lot of Pākehā's hidings, and just like that created this deep anger in me. Like, it gets to the point where like, because I think us as people, like when you're speaking about, Māori men and Māori women, like the kotahitanga ki roto i te whānau me te hapuri, me te, wāhi katoa in English. Yeah.
It means like both parents having an equal role in raising their kids, and like in the community and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like growing up that way, and what kotahitanga was showed to us, at least, and I guess just Māori in general, was like we're all here to help each other. We all have roles, and we do our roles properly, and we check up on each other and stuff like that. And like, I just never felt that with like Pākehā people. It was always like a competition, kind of.
Bro, school. Who discovered New Zealand?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what were we before they discovered New Zealand?
Yeah.
Bro, when you hear that growing up, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How am I like this then, if that's what we were like? And all these questions arise. What was New Zealand before these guys came here? And they're like, we gave them fire.
Yeah. Well, and like, I think that's why we started doing kapahaka and kura anyways, because of that, because there was a lack of culture. I remember I had a principal, I'm not going to say the school. I had a principal at, was it intermediate or high school? Might have been high school. I had like 120 kids that I was teaching Morako to, just tūranga waiwai stuff and, basic stuff, potahi stuff. And the principal came up to me and was like, this is too cultural for our school. Yeah. And like, I've heard
That's
this
crazy.
I've heard this corridor before and stuff like that, and I was like, I was angry that he said that. I was pissed off, but like, if I was to put myself into his shoes and I didn't know anything about what Morako is or what we're doing, he's teaching these kids how to fight with sticks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
At like a foundational level, or just a surface level, sorry.
That's some Operation 8 shit, G.
Yeah. And so from his perspective, I can empathize and sympathize and be like, I understand. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. What you said is totally, I don't think it's the right words, and I don't think it holds any truth, but I understand the intentions behind his words. And so, me growing up having these feelings towards Pākehā, and as Buzzy is that when you meet, I've been blessed enough to travel the world, and one of the countries I was blessed enough to go to was the Philippines. And something about just being around minorities is that we just automatically share like so much more than we realize.
Trauma, shared colonization, hurt.
Yeah, but even just the way we act,
disenfranchised. Oh yeah,
know
I feel
what I
that.
mean?
Sorry, I went down the wrong track with
like
that
our
one.
humor is like the same.
Aren't they Austronesian as well?
Yeah.
Filipinos.
Yeah.
So we all came from like Taiwan or some stuff,
Which
and they
is
stopped there.
Bro, it's so buzzy, bro. But like, honestly, any minority that I've met, I've instantly got along with, because we just share something.
Yeah.
We just it's something about it, and it's automatically love. It's automatically food, or it's not, or it's the complete opposite, or it's like on site with like everything. But we love hard. We feel hard, is what I'm trying to say. So when I got a little bit older, I was thinking, this is way older. This is like maybe like 2-3 years ago, these thoughts started popping into my head about colonization and you know all that stuff. I think it's not easy. Like, I think it's fair to put blame on, you know, on whoever, Pākehā, for example, for, you know, some of the stuff that we've go through.
Yep.
But on the flip side, their mental health problems too that they have to go through. And I don't know what that is because I can't relate, but I'm assuming it's like societal pressure or at like its highest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like the expectation is just so like, but then again, this is getting a bit, I'm just sharing, okay? I don't mean no harm. Some of them are just so nonchalant and like just not caring at all, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
Like little things that like bug me so much is when like, I'm going to say Pākehā people because this been all my personal experience, okay? Is when they just brush you off like it's nothing. Brushing you off by just cutting you off on the road, not even saying thank you. Or if there's a speed bump there and you pull over to let
that's
them
a
go,
different thing entirely. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
and they don't say thank you, they just go.
Yeah.
Or crossing the road and they don't even acknowledge
It's entitlement, G.
it is, it is entitlement, but like, imagine us having that ingrained in us. You know what I mean?
Like no grace or
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And some of the
This isn't. Sorry, I just want to clarify before this guy gets us cancelled. We're not talking about any. We're not talking about the whole of Pākehā people.
Yeah.
These are specific people that we're talking about, but we don't know their names. Like, it's like if you have two friends called Doug, and one's Māori, and then one's a different race.
Yeah.
You're like, that's Māori Doug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you hate all Māoris because you said, oh, Māori Doug did this.
Yeah. It's just the type of person.
Yeah, it's a generalization, but it's
Yes.
not against the whole culture.
Definitely not. But yeah.
Oh.
Man, and
We need
like,
a bell, G, because every time you get close, I'm just gonna ding.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, continue. What were you saying?
Well, it's like, yeah, I want to be acknowledged. I want to be considered as a human, that my presence exists. You know what I mean?
You want what you give out, G.
Yeah, 100%. And but like also, I'm also not naive in thinking that everybody thinks and feels the same way about
Has
me
the same heart as
and
you.
blah 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 blah. Yeah, so I'm very aware of that. I just think like
little things, eh?
a foundation as a human should be this.
Yeah.
It's to show courtesy, to be polite, to me that's just like human decency that you know that is ingrained in us. You know, and in the Bible it talks about how we're born with faith, and it's just something that we have. And not to get like super religious or anything, but I used to feel like even atheists have some form of faith because they're believing and not believing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
like to say that they don't believe into something is to believe that they don't believe into something. You know what I mean? So that faith is there somewhere. In my opinion, it was just misdirected into the wrong thing, in my opinion. But so there's that, bro. I think it's
like the it's almost like reverse entitlement, almost.
Yeah. And
know?
I'm also not naive in thinking that like our battles are the same too. Like,
yeah, true.
Yeah, and like you have to ask the question: why is it that majority of Māori can share the same experiences or share the same pain or share the same trauma or life battles without even knowing each other?
Yeah.
You could say something and be like, yeah, man, I instantly relate.
That's buzzy, eh?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And we can't do that with Pākehā people. Like, I just can't. I can't. I'll talk for myself. I can't.
Sometimes. I had a couple. Nah, I might be. That might be the exception though, because Southside, you know.
Yeah.
Different breed. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, so even being fellow Southsider myself, you know, knowing some Pākehā out there too, their chances are like
This guy's deep south though.
Yeah,
Deep south ones are different, G. The farm boys are different.
Farm
G.
boys are different.
Farm boys are fucking ruthless.
Farm
G.
boys will scrap you on site.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
You get I think there's different types. You know, there's the ones that have been raised that same way out on Pookie.
Yeah.
And then there's the other ones who might as well be like, their name is Steven, they might as well be called Tipine. G.
Yeah. 100%.
Just raised around the
I
bros.
actually got a Paki mate, old best mate of mine, and man, he was Paki by definition, bro. Like, the way he looked, the way he talked, he never tried to be brown, but he only hung out with brown dudes, bro. We used to have spa sessions with a bunch of Tongans, and he would be in there just getting dropped, and just like, he was a hearty fella, man. He was hearty as. Actually got some wild stories with that fella, but anyways, but yeah, and you know, whether all I'm saying is true or not, I don't know, but there's just it's distinctly how I feel a lot of the times.
Yep.
And bro, even my job interviews, I have a Pake voice, and I have the way I normally speak.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
That, yeah.
But see, as soon as I say Pake voices, or Māoris are
Go.
like, oh yeah.
Go. Give us your Pākehā voice, G. Can you
What's-
say, hi, my name's Kelly?
I
Picking
do,
up the phone as Pākehā Kelly. Ready?
Mm-hmm. What's it for? Give me some context.
You're just picking up the phone. You're answering the phone at work.
Okay. Hello, Kelly speaking. Hi, yep.
That's pretty good.
What was your name, sorry? John. Nice to meet you, John. Yeah, good, thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can feel it in my heart, bro. I'm just but then when I hang up, I'm just like, bro, this fella was
Hello, Bryce speaking. No, I don't do that.
But I legit do that in real life.
It's similar to our real voices, but it's slightly more articulate, G. I
Bro,
think that's what it is.
I just
Hello, Bryce speaking.
I find myself just trying to be like the least intimidating, the least like
the least intimidating, the
Yeah,
least
yeah.
illiterate, the
Yeah,
least
yeah.
the least guttural. If we can do that, you
Yeah.
always hold the voice like up in the top of your.
I'm definitely like
almost
half
at
an
the
octave
nose,
higher.
in between the throat and the nose.
Yeah,
G. That's
yeah.
where you keep the voice right here, and you say hello.
Yeah.
How can I help you? Is everything all right?
But like I think the question that I like, is that a bad thing? Is this something that like why do we feel like we have to do that? Like because to do that means if I
we
was
don't think our normal voice is good enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
crazy.
going back to my original our original conversation is we don't know what they think or how they feel about us. It might be a lot of prejudging on our part.
Yeah.
And pre-assumptions on our part. But like for some reason we feel that it's necessary to do that in order to have an increased chance of making this whatever thing successful.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a conversation. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, like why that's a lot.
It is.
Like that's a lot.
Just to even speak.
So to put it in, I guess, more basic terms or simpler terms. If I was to tell my boy when he grows up, hey, you know how we talk at home? Yeah, you're gonna have to like change yourself, bro. When certain people call you,
Bro, that's crazy.
so you have to, and he's gonna be like, "What do you mean change myself?" Oh, so there's just like this way that you talk, and you can't talk like how you're talking now. And he's gonna be like, "Why?"
'Cause if you don't talk like that, you're not gonna be accepted.
Yeah, because
Bro, that's crazy.
how
Subconsciously.
how insane is that, bro?
Yeah.
That
And
is
we do
wild.
it every day. That's horrendous.
That is wild,
Bro, next time I pick up the phone, G, you know,
Che
Machi.
up to ya, cuz.
G,
Che ma,
did you watch the game last night?
But
G,
like
100%.
I don't think it has to be like that to that extreme, but like I think it's more the intentions of I want to be myself.
Yeah.
And I want to be accepted.
You know what I noticed? Because I work in an office. Everyone in the office talks like that.
True, yeah.
It's not just Māori.
Yeah.
I think that's like a subconscious thing.
Corporate
That,
and-
that
yeah.
everyone does in corporate.
Yeah.
But I think it's more a drastic change
Yeah.
for us because of how we talk normally. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, how I talk to his son is funny as.
100%.
Come over here,
Bro, even like, you know,
Gee.
speaking of the workspace, like corporate, I've been in some corporate spaces work wise.
Yeah.
But just corporate spaces in general, I've been around heaps. When you find the minority of the whatever, especially if it's like a poly, if you see a fellow poly in a corporate space and you just like,
It's like Key and Peele.
yeah. Gee, where's the food at? Gee.
What's the other thing? The Office.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, 100%.
What's his name? The guy on there. The black dude. What's his name? Stanley. And there's another black dude. And the other black dude's
Yeah.
Stanley's like,
Yeah, exactly, bro.
bro, I never do that. Every job I'm at, cool with the warehouse boys, cool with all the polys, because I know
Yeah.
most of them. South Auckland quite
Well,
small.
and so like I think a lot of my insecurities kind of stemmed from that, and like you have to question why our people don't value themselves the way that they're supposed to,
Yep.
or they value themselves too much and they go the complete opposite direction.
And on the flip side, they're like, yeah, did you see your cousin? And your cousin's speaking with like a British accent. And you're like, gee, you're from Napuna, cousin. Why you talking like that?
Or they're like, nah, we're Maori, like we're you know, mana
100
hard,
times,
we're,
100 times horier than they were the last time.
everyone else
that happens
is,
heaps in Aussie. You know?
yeah,
The cousins that go to Aussie and then you talk to them and they're like, cheer, what are you up to? But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's a different kind of thing. You know, they miss home, so they try to characterize it as much as they can in themselves.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I get what you mean, bro, about feeling that you're not enough the way that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so learning how to do that, like for me personally, if I didn't have God, you know, it'd be very hard for me.
If I have to think about why I do it at Mahi, I put it off as professionalism, bro. But now that you mentioned what you've mentioned, it's all up in the air again.
Well, like I think
Thinking,
I think one we got all of us, everyone has to be self-aware on how we present ourselves is going to make the other person feel. And I think we're constantly tailoring ourselves
to those people,
people in those different situations, which is fair, because I think especially as Māori, when you go back to like kotahitanga and that, it's like we naturally want to connect with whoever is in front of us anyways.
Yeah.
And so, but then also we grow up with like an extreme sense of, I don't want to say pride, but like we're like the ultimate hosts. Like polys are just the ultimate hosts in a whare, you know what I mean? Like we're going to give you everything that we have, even if what we don't have, we're going to give that to you anyways. We're going to make sure you're fed. We're going to make sure you're okay, that you're happy, that you're comfortable, that this is your whare, and that you feel welcomed and that your voice is heard. You know, naturally we want to do that. And so I think to like action, that is us tailoring to like, you know, other people that's in front of us, because we want to make them feel as comfortable as we can, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
A people-pleasing culture, G.
A people-pleasing culture that doesn't get the same thing reciprocated a lot of times.
Bro, and I think that goes back to the other corridor that you are having about that, you know, trauma and mental issues and stuff like that. But I think it's prevalent in us, I think we've rounded it up pretty well, G, like the causes of it. But then again, you know, there's some people who don't have any of that trauma and they still turn to drugs and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and this is another part of the corridor that another branch of it at least, is that we have choices at the end of the day.
Yeah, bro.
And you kind of have to live with that choice of what you're choosing to do within that situation. Like if every day you're given the opportunity to be a better version of yourself, whatever that looks like, if the thought is there, then the choice is there, you know what I mean? And especially if you know about it and that you're aware, like if you're aware of right and wrong, but you're still choosing to do wrong, the key word is choosing, you know, you're choosing to do something wrong. So whatever comes with it, you just kind of have to accept it because you made your choice, you know?
Cause and effect,
yeah, cause and effect, that, you know, and you made your bed, so you got to lay in it now. And it sounds a lot easier than than it is. I'm aware of that. I'm not naive in that. Like I'm aware that some of these choices are just really, really hard to make when it comes to like substance abuse and alcoholism and even violence and stuff like that. Some of us, just find it extremely harder than others, and I understand that. But you can still make a choice. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like dumb it down, addictions down or anything, but you can still make a choice. And I mean, I think just the everyday struggle of being a young Maori male in our own country is pretty hard. You know what I mean? At the moment, I think it's pretty hard too.
Yep.
Especially if you're like in mainstream kura and things of that, and I guess just part of mainstream in general. Because there's two sides of the coin, eh? Like there's one where, like myself, who's been blessed enough to be a part of Te Ao Māori and grew up in Te Ao Māori and all things Māori and very privileged and blessed to be able to know my culture very deeply. But then there's the other side, which a lot of puki that just don't. Like whether they were beaten up for speaking Māori and said you can't speak, you shall not speak te reo in the school, or
raised in the system as well. But
raised in the system, or just straight up denied their culture, or they just, 2 generations in never got, handed down because there was nothing to hand down because of those, situations. And which I think causes a whole nother set of mental health issues too, when you have someone, there's a kiwaha or a name in Māori which is, well, ngaro means lost, and then there's iho ngaro. Iho ngaro is like a lost soul. And to me, when I envision a iho ngaro, it's like someone who is sitting there with all the colours in the world on, but no picture. Like there's no, it's just these bunch of colours. You know what I mean? But inside their eyes, there's no substance, there's no depth, they're just truly like, lost in themselves. And the different colours represent different friend group, different, I don't know, the way they speak, music taste or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
Some Māori men that get whāngai into, a Pākehā family or something and grew up their way was, and get the certain way, but then they have this feeling of inside of them, that the whakapapa runs deep inside of them, but they're just not aware of it yet, I think that can cause some hearty mental health issues as well, just not knowing.
Yeah, bro.
Simply not knowing, but knowing at the same time. Yeah.
Disconnection, eh?
Yeah.
It's a big one.
I think so. A part of what we've been teaching in the classes with the rangatahi is cultural identity, and there's some models like te whare tapawha and all those kind of stuff, which is cool. And there's some other kaupapa Māoris. There's some Pacifica ones as well, like the whales and stuff, that, or the different talanoa that represent. I guess the foundation of both of those models is cultural identity and knowing who you are and your culture, and I guess the tikanga, or the practices around cultural identity and how you can incorporate that into your everyday life. And I remember one of the first classes that I used to run, I called it Kowaio. And so the pātai that I had was, who am I? Which was deep. It's massive.
Yeah, bro.
But I said it in Māori because that's the answer there. It's in the language. So if I was to ask myself, Kowaio, I just said it, I'm Māori, and that's a part of who I am. So now that I know that, let's explore that deeper. Let's go into whakapapa. Let's go into pepeha. Let's go into the history and family trees and all those kind of stuff. And that connection was really important to me. And like, even though I guess both of us are away from, our homes, our hometowns and that, and not that I want to go back there to like live, but I can't deny when I touch
the grass, when you touch down.
As soon as I get home, man, even there's certain landmarks that I think of. As soon as I drive past it, man, I just feel this like
Bro, my one's the bridge. So there's a bridge. All the locals in Rotorua will know it. That's where Speed did the haka.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know who he got permission from to go swim in the Blueies.
Yeah.
So if you know who he got permission from, let me know, because I don't think he had permission.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, there's an archway. And then through the archway is the bridge. Drive around the corner, there's our baths, like right there. So we come from a geothermal area.
Yep.
And we siphon that all into our own private baths. There's baths for the tourists, and then there's baths for the locals. I'm not telling you where the local ones are, but you go in, bro. As soon as I touch the water, crazy.
Yeah.
You just feel toe as.
Mm.
Yeah. Everything makes sense. That's what I feel when I touch it. Everything makes sense. I know where I'm supposed to be. Reconnected to home. The Wairua charges up. You know?
It's such a nice feeling.
That's crazy, eh, bro? It's unexplainable, really.
I think it is unexplainable, and it's just crazy how deep that peace actually runs through your bones, man. Like,
yeah, bro.
I remember I took one of the bros for a ride. We went south, so I wouldn't go Puki, but we went to Rangiriri and to Taupiri and Waikato and stuff, and we saw. So we went to Taupiri, my maunga, and saw the urupa, saw my koro and the rest of the whānau up on the maunga. I just remember thinking, like, man, that could just, like, this is...
Yeah.
This
you
is
can
just
feel
home.
it, AJ.
Yeah, this is
bro.
home. This is my home. This is my home. But it feels like that even more just because I made the intention to make the connection beforehand with, with that. And just knowing who I am and knowing where I come from and who I'm descended from and stuff like that, man, it just adds so much to it.
I didn't start getting into whakapapa until I was like 27.
I
knew who my great-grandparents were. Maybe like 5 generations back.
Yeah.
Was all I knew, bro.
Yeah.
And then, late 20s, started to get into whakapapa. Yeah, bro. Went all the way back, G. On all the, like, different lines and stuff like that. It was crazy. One of my karaua, he wrote this, like, leather-bound book. And, like, hundreds of pages of whakapapa. Like, right back to the beginning of time. And that was crazy to read through. But I'm not even halfway through it, G. And that was, like, 2019 that I started. And that was, like, 7 years ago. Bro, 7 years ago, G. Crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm still not through it, G. Yeah. That's crazy, eh? But once you do make those connections,
They're never lost.
Yeah.
They're never lost.
And it makes you think twice about a lot of stuff as well, bro. You know what I mean?
I remember one of the rangatahi said his pepeha for the first time. And man, I was just like, this is like, racks me up, eh? And because I just know, like this, the seed that you plant is definitely worth it, and it grows. It'll always grow. And it's up to you how fast it grows, but man, yeah. I love that stuff. But yeah, so like, we're obviously riddled with a lot, like, but we could give you guys so much examples of like just bad experiences that we've had with like non-minorities, I guess, and just how that feels and like it's just something that we can't deny, and that.
Gee, do you get triggered every time you hear like all the ACT parties policies and shit? Like the backpedaling on the treaty and I don't get triggered because I know that's what they're meant to do, but there's still like a little part of me that's like, gee, fuck this guy. You know what I mean?
Nah.
You don't?
Nah.
I do, G.
Only
mad.
because like I know the no. Like yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
stop co-governance, that's another one that triggers me. Oh, it doesn't really trigger me, but I just think, gee, fuck those guys.
Well, and so like,
what else?
If you know that someone is ignorant and that they're just saying straight up ignorant stuff, I'm not even gonna entertain them with my emotions because I already know that this person is ignorant. So why am I going to allow, if I know what they're saying isn't true and I believe what they're saying to be a lie, then you're just a liar. And like I'm okay living my life because I'm not. I know that what you're saying is a lie. And I think if I think my pain comes from other people hurting because what they're saying is affecting other people.
them,
yeah. But the same thing, like I just know the no, bro. Like
I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at the other dumb people that listen to those dumb people and believe that each and every one of us are scum,
yeah.
are losers, are dough bludgers. That's what makes me angry.
Well,
But again, it's the same stuff you were just talking about.
It's a never-ending cycle, eh? And it's something,
narrative.
and it's something that's gonna happen all the time, you know. And this is why I don't get into like political talks or even like religious talks for that matter, because like I don't have to defend my truth, you know what I mean? Like with what I know,
Yeah.
and my life is like perfectly fine knowing that. Like I'm still speaking, you know, my language to our kids and to my wife. We're still practicing our cultural practices, and you know, and I'm blessed to, you know, have these tools to offer my kids and to my wife. And this is like a who we are, and it's something that they can't take away from me. And because even the whakatauki, like poipoia te kako ki a puawai, if you nurture the seed, it will blossom. And the seed of being a Māori has been nurtured my whole entire life, and I'll continue to nurture it. So it continues to blossom. So it's just like, sorry, cuz this tree's already full grown, my bro. Like, yeah.
I'm good. But fuck those guys.
Well,
fuck those guys. That's 4 beeps. We're gonna need 5 beeps.
but then also like, they don't care if you feel that way or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like all the people who are saying that as well have never really met good ones.
And
wait, what's a good one?
Well, and
why did I say that?
And I've met a lot of those fellas. Like I've met I've met the Luxons. I've met, you know, these high government people, and they're just government people to me, bro. Like they're not like, I'm not expecting. I'm expecting them to what I expect. You know what I mean? And I don't even entertain anything otherwise. And if they surprise me in a good way, it's like, yep, sweet as. I think everyone's a human first, and I'm not gonna, you know, diminish them as that. But yeah, bro, I'm
I say, Giffy.
I'm okay in myself. Yeah, and I, to be honest, I think to sum up, like what we're talking about too,
Go close us.
is to be intentional about connection with who you are. Find out your morals, find out your values, find out your DNA. Even if you go into like ancestry.com and do a DNA test, like it doesn't matter. Like we've had some students where they're like, oh, they actually got no idea where they're from, and I was like, well, where do you live?
Sorry.
Where do you live? And then they're like, oh, I live here, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, what's the monga around there? You know what I mean? And so doing that and give them some form of connection. But I think to know yourself is to it helps a lot with, I think, with I guess the mental health issues that stem from some of the experience that you've had. I think one, acknowledge it. Definitely acknowledge it. Call the thing. Call it for what it is. Say it for what it is. 2, allow yourself time to process exactly what you're acknowledging. Process your feelings. Process your emotions. Process the consequences of what you've experienced, or what you continue to experience, or process the trauma that it's caused. Process the behavioral patterns that it's caused you to do, or if that's isolation, if it's substance abuse, or if it's whatever. Like if you can pinpoint those things, allow yourself time after you acknowledge it to process that, like to really process that, and just like be like, wow, like these things have really affected my life in a major way. 3, make a plan to be better, to do better, to when these triggers do come up, that you have a plan. Not an escape route, but you have a plan. So you know what to do when these things happen again, if they happen again. And if they don't happen again, then you're keeping the demons at bay. And then 4 is execute the plan. Do it. As soon as it happens, do it. Make a plan. I remember some of my friends used to tell me all the time, make a plan. When things about to go really, really bad, or if you feel like they're going to go bad, have a plan. What's your plan? What's your plan? So acknowledge, process, plan, execute. And then you should be mental health free for the rest of your life. Nah, but have close people around you too. For me, I got God, and that's someone that I talk to every single day. So if you have that, do that. We'll pray for you too. But your testimony is your testimony. Don't let anybody diminish your story. Don't ever downplay your life. Don't compare your life to others either. Comparison is a stealer, or the thief of joy. Don't let that happen. And everyone just goes through battles, bro, and you're not alone in your battle. Whatever it is, there's someone else there that has gone through that and has tools to provide you. You just got to seek it out for yourself. But take it day by day. Yesterday was the only thing that's guaranteed. It says in the Bible, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has its own worries for itself. So be present in today. Be present in the moment and right now as you're listening and watching this. I'm on a roll. What else?
It's your turn. I'll talk after. I think you've covered it pretty much, bro.
Yeah, take control of what you can take control of. What you can't, man. As simple as that. It's all good. And if it's not, it's all good. Okay.
Be good to yourself. Love other people. Have good people around you. There is help there. Yeah. If you have good people around you, you'll be all good. And if you don't have good people around you, find some good people, honestly. Talk to your whānau, talk to your friend that you haven't talked to in 10 years plus, because they might just be there for you when you need them. Know yourself, love yourself. I love you, he loves you. Yeah, true.
Just a reminder, these experiences are our own experiences. These are not
the views are Kelly's.
Yeah, the views expressed on this episode is my own. And that is all, okay?
They're not against a whole race. I'm just repeating that.
Yes,
They're
I don't mean no harm.
Because if we do the same thing, then we're just as bad.
But at the same time, like...
fuck yous.
Acknowledge me too, bro.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean?
I'm just kidding.
We've been through some hardsy stuff, man.
No, but yeah, at the same time,
where's my love at? Sorry would be nice.
Oofa.
I would say food, but food... Okay, anyways, yeah. All right,
okay, love you. Let's finish. Love you guys. Bye.